Did you know there are people in the Bible who might have cheated death? Not in a metaphorical sense, but literally never died. It sounds like something out of a fantasy story, but Scripture points to a few extraordinary individuals who bypassed the grave entirely. Today, we're exploring the incredible stories of three men whose lives ended not in a tomb, but in mystery and divine intervention. Who were they, and how did they achieve what seems impossible? Let's uncover the secrets of the men who walked straight into eternity. Long before Noah built his ark, in a world that had largely forgotten its creator, one man walked a different path. His name was Enoch. The book of Genesis gives us just a tantalizing glimpse into his life, saying simply, Enoch walked with God. This wasn't a casual stroll. For 300 years, his every step was in perfect harmony with heaven. Imagine a friendship so deep, so intimate, that the line between the earthly and the divine begins to blur, while others were building monuments of stone. Enoch was building a life of unbroken communion. Then, one day, he was gone. Scripture says, Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. No sickness, no old age, no final breath. He simply walked with his divine friend one evening and kept on walking, right past the horizon of this world and into the next. His family searched, but there was no body to be found, no tomb to mark his passing. He was the first man in the biblical record to be taken alive, a stunning testament that a life lived in close fellowship with God could lead directly to eternity. For generations, believers have looked to Enoch's story, a powerful symbol that death does not have the final say. Centuries later, after the Great Flood had reshaped the world, another figure of immense power emerged in Israel. His name was Elijah. This was no quiet walker in a garden. Elijah was a prophet of fire and storm. He stood alone against 450 false prophets on Mount Carmel and called down fire from the sky. He challenged corrupt kings and spoke with such authority that even nature obeyed him. Elijah was God's untamed voice in a rebellious land, a force of nature in human form. His life was a whirlwind of miracles and confrontations, so it's fitting that his departure was just as dramatic. On his final day on earth, Elijah walked with his successor, Elisha, toward the Jordan River. He knew his time had come, but it wouldn't be an ordinary end. Taking his cloak, Elijah struck the water, and the mighty river parted, allowing them to cross on dry ground. As they stood on the other side, the sky itself seemed to rip open. A chariot of fire, pulled by horses of flame, descended from the heavens. In a flash, a whirlwind engulfed Elijah, lifting him from the earth. All Elisha saw was his master ascending in a blaze of glory, his cloak fluttering down as the only proof he was ever there. No grave, no funeral, just an empty space where a man had been, and a fiery trail leading to the heavens. Elijah, the prophet who never died, was taken. Even centuries later, he would reappear vibrant and alive, next to Moses on the Mount of Transfiguration, proving that God's power can truly conquer the grave. Our final figure is perhaps the most mysterious of all, Melchizedek. He appears in the book of Genesis almost like a mirage. After a great battle, Abraham, the patriarch of faith, is met by this enigmatic king and priest. His name means King of Righteousness, and he ruled a city called Salem, which means peace. Melchizedek blessed Abraham and served him bread and wine, an act that would echo through millennia. Then, as quickly as he appeared, he vanished from the biblical narrative. What makes him so compelling? The Bible gives no record of his father, his mother, or his lineage. There is no mention of his birth or his death. The book of Hebrews describes him in astonishing terms: without father or mother, without genealogy, without beginning of days or end of life, resembling the Son of God. He remains a priest forever. This has led to endless speculation. Was he a man who achieved a state of timelessness? Was he a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ? Or was he, like Enoch and Elijah, a man who never experienced death? Scholars continue to debate, but his story stands as a profound symbol of an eternal priesthood, one not bound by the limitations of human life and death. His existence challenges our understanding of time itself. Enoch, the friend of God; Elijah, the rider of the storm; Melchizedek, the timeless priest. Three men from three different eras, all united by a singular, breathtaking mystery. They didn't just live lives of faith. Their relationship with the divine was so profound that it seemingly altered the very laws of nature. One walked, one rode a chariot of fire, and one simply was, without beginning or end. Their stories aren't just historical curiosities, they are powerful reminders that for those who draw near to God, the boundary between this life and the next can become beautifully, miraculously thin. They point to a greater hope, a reality where death is not the end, but merely a doorway for some, and a barrier that can be passed over entirely for others. What do you think about these incredible accounts? Are there other biblical figures who you think might have had a similar fate? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for joining us on this journey into one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into stories that challenge and inspire. Until next time, stay curious.